first graders, it's Mrs. Gordon. I'm back for another great adventure. Today we're going to work on our red word. So we have a new red word for this week, and our new red word is the word his. Can you say his? His. His is a red word because if you listen very carefully, one of the letters that I see on my card, I don't hear. Let's try it again. Turn your ears on. Listen carefully. Here we go. His. What do you hear at the end of his? If I really stretch this out, listen. Is. Yeah, I hear a Z, don't I? I hear Z. But look at what it's spelled with. It's not spelled with a Z. It's spelled with an S. So remember, red words are words that are spelled different than they sound. So we hear different sounds, but we use different letters to spell that sound. So that's why the word his is a red word. So when we do our red word activity, we are teaching our brain that his is not spelled like it sounds. So when we teach our brain things, our brain learns best when it sees it, it hears it, and it feels it. So we have to do all three of those things to help teach our brain what this word is. So we're going to do our red word activity for the word his today. So I need you to get out some tools. You are going to need a red crayon, a piece of paper, and it can just be a blank sheet of paper. And at the very beginning of the year, Mrs. Gordon asked moms and dads to get a piece of sandpaper. The rougher, the better, because the sandpaper helps us to be able to feel the word on the page. So if you can have your adult get your things together. So you have a pencil would also probably be a good idea, but we can work with the red crayon if you don't have a pencil handy. So you need a red crayon, a white piece of paper, and a piece of sandpaper. So first of all, I want you to take your white paper and if the adult needs to help you, I want you to fold it in half like this. Okay, so it kind of makes a pocket that I can tuck something in. So we're going to fold it in half like that. Okay, and yours is going to be blank. Mrs. Gordon's has the lines on it with the house just to help us out with where the letters need to go. So you're going to take your sandpaper and you're going to slide it into your paper, into that pocket. Okay, like that. So you're going to have this blank sheet on there. See, mine has lines on it, but it's okay. Yours don't need to have lines on it. You can just have a blank sheet. If you want, you can draw your red bed just to make sure where your letters rest. If you want to, with your red crayon, draw that red line so you can just have your letters rest there. But you don't have to. It can be blank. And remember to write big. So you'll see my lines are kind of big because we want to write big. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to write the word his on our paper. Okay, so we want to write it big. We want to push hard on it, and we're going to write it twice, and we're going to trace right over our letters. So remember, we're going to start with our H up tall, push hard, H, I, S. So I'm going to have the word his written on your paper like that. Okay, now we're going to do it one more time with our red crayon, pushing a little bit so that we make it bumpy. Ready? Let's do it again. H, trace right over what you have there. I, S. Okay, so it should look like that. So now you can set your sandpaper aside. You don't need it anymore. Set that sandpaper aside. Okay, so, and put your red crayon down. So now we're going to use our pointer finger because this is where we want to feel the word. So your sandpaper made your letters bumpy. So when you trace them with your finger, you can feel the sandpaper feeling on each letter. So what we're going to do is now the first thing that we do to learn the word is we look at it with our eyes. To hear it, we have to say each letter. And then when we put the letter sounds together, we draw our finger on our red bed and say the word. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay, Mrs. Gordon's going to show you how to do it. We're going to start right here. Ready? H, I, S spells his. Okay, are we ready? Get your pointer finger ready. Let's do it again. Ready? I want to hear you. H, I, S, his. Okay, one more time. Ready? H, I, S, his. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to arm tap our word. So remember when we arm tap, we hold the word so we can see it in our hand. And we put our arm out like it's a slope. We want it to be like a slide. Okay, and the word's at the bottom so I can see it with my eyes. Okay, so we're going to load the word. So put your arm up in the air and you're going to pull down and say his. And then we're going to arm tap. 2 fingers, H at the shoulder, I at my elbow, S at my arm, and then we push it together and say the word at the bottom, his. We're going to do that 3 times. Ready? Here we go. We got to lock and load first. Arm up, his, H, I, S. Push together, his. Let's do it again. Lock and load, his, H, I, S, his. One more time, really tall, ready, lock and load, his, H, I, S, his. Good job. All right, now take your word and lay it down on the table. And we're going to do what's called skywriting this time. So skywriting is using my whole arm to write. I'm going to pretend there's a big chalkboard in front of me, and I'm going to write the word his on my chalkboard. Now we got to write big, so we're using our whole arm. This is called a large arm movement. Okay, so we're going to pretend our chalkboard's in front of us and we're going to write his. So the word is in front of you so that you can look at it if you need help. Ready? Here we go. H, I, S spells his. Draw a line underneath of it. Good job. Let's do it again. Ready? Big. H, I, S, his. One more time, real big on that chalkboard. Ready? H, I, S, his. Very good. Okay, so now I want you to take your paper and I want you to turn it over. And with your red crayon, using your memory, I want to see if you can write his on the back. Ready? Let's try it. Write it on the back of your paper. Is that what you wrote? If you did, good job. You remembered what his looked like. H-I-S, his. Very good. Okay, so underneath there, we're going to practice writing it 3 times. We need to make sure that we say the letters as we write it. Right underneath there, right down here, we're going to write. Ready? Here we go. H, I, S, his. So see, I drew my line underneath of it when I read the word. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? H, I, S, his. One more time. Here we go. H, I, S, his. Very good. Okay, The last part of our red is to see if we can use that word in a sentence. So I want you to open up your paper and turn it over so you have a blank side to your paper. And this is where you can use your pencil if you want instead of your crayon. It's up to you. Okay. Mrs. Gordon's going to give you a sentence. We're going to pound out the sentence, and then you're going to write it on the back of that paper with your pencil or your crayon, whichever you want. It's up to you. Okay, here we go. Here's my first sentence. So remember, we pound out the sentence on our table. So we use the flat hand. This is my table. This is my pounder. Here we go. It is his cat. Okay, let's pound it out again. Here we go. It is his cat. One more time. Here we go. It is his cat. Okay, now you take your pencil and your crayon and you write the sentence. Don't forget your finger spaces and think about, how do I write the first word? What kind of letter do I need there? And what do I need at the end of that sentence? Okay, if you can't remember the sentence, pound it out again. It'll help you. I'm writing my sentence on the back of my paper. Oh, I know I need something at the end to say my sentence is done. All right. Okay, let's check yours with mine. This is what it looks like. Ready? It, and notice I used an uppercase letter. It is his cat. Okay, if you need to fix yours, if you don't have a period at the end, make sure you add it. If you didn't start it with an uppercase letter, make sure you fix that. Now I want you to take your red crayon and I want you to underline our red word for today. Our red word was his. Can you find his in your sentence and underline it? Oh, there it is. All right, let's read it together. Let's read the sentence. Ready? It is his cat. Good job. Okay, we're going to do one more. So just move down towards the bottom of your paper so you have room, or the middle. And we're going to do one more sentence. Here we go. Ready? Get your table ready. Here it is. His cat is fat. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? Say it with me so your brain's thinking about what you're going to write. Here we go. His cat is fat. One more. Ready? One more time. Here we go. Say it with me. His cat is fat. All right. Take your crayon or your pencil and write that sentence. Be thinking about, how do I start my sentence? Finger spaces between your words, and don't forget the punctuation at the end. Go ahead. Remember, if you don't know how to spell a word, stretch it out. Like at. Help me know what letters go there. At. Right, here's my sentence. Let's see if your sentence looks like mine. Look very carefully. It says his, and look at, I have an uppercase H because it's the first word in my sentence. His cat is fat. At. Did you get that F sound for fat? Be careful. Sometimes we want to mix up F and F. So it's a fat. All right. Take your red crayon and underline our red word for today. Yes, our red word is his, the very first word, right? All right, let's read our sentence together. make sure that you fixed it if you had a mistake. So if you didn't have the word fat spelled right, make sure you fix that. If you didn't have a period, make sure you put your period in there. Okay, let's read it. Here we go. His cat is fat. Let's read it one more time. Here we go. His cat is fat. Good job. Pay attention in the books that you read this week and the things that you write or anything that you're looking at. Pay attention for that word his. His. And remember, it's H-I-S. Even though I hear Z, it's an S. Bye-bye. Have a great week.